And don't fart around me. Bonus points.
Don't pass
When you get married,
gas.
that's like inevitable, but okay.
Tiff still holding it down.
It's because y'all still dating. The minute she say I do, it's gonna come out.
Trumpets.
The trumpets will sound.
It might be simultaneous. Like, I do. Like, man, it's just gonna happen. So just expect it, bro. They're human.
The
Women are human.
Vapors.
Yeah. You're now tuned in.
You're now tuned in.
You are now tuned in
You're now tuned in.
You are now tuned in.
to the Juxtaposition Podcast. Welcome to episode 69 of the Juxtaposition Podcast. Keep your minds on target. I said 69, episode 69, not. Anyway, we are the Extraordinary Nobodies, starting five, the 5 heartbeats, 4 hubbies in the possible. Even though we have 2 hubbies and a fiance today, we are the Positivity Podcast. I'm your host, Varstinio Hall. And I just realized we should have had the JADA lead off for the bonus episode. If you haven't listened to the bonus episode, then you should go back and listen to the bonus episode released on Tuesday. So go ahead and check that out.
Wait, Var. You know what we haven't
go ahead.
heard this season? What are we here to do? This is
Amplify the
really
voice of the
Zoe's
modern
job.
black man. You're
Say
right.
it again. One more again.
One more again.
Amplify the voice of the modern black man. It's been a
Yes,
lot of
sir.
amplifying lately. A lot of amplifying for both good
sure.
and bad reasons. Man, oh man. Anyway,
Been crazy.
how are y'all? What the fuck was that?
Yup.
Check it out.
Did the Chris Rock.
Speak. He caught the Holy Ghost. He was speaking in tongues. He said, "Hanara yashundu, hashandu."
Here I money.
I blame it on the braces.
Just the beginning.
Not the theme song.
That was the theme song from their bachelor party. Yo, that was the joint.
I couldn't get my lip over my teeth. That was crazy. Like
It got
she's-
caught. It got caught in the brace.
Yeah. Like it was like
They supposed to lock the
Damn.
teeth up, not your lips. That's crazy.
it was locked up. It
I've been there.
wouldn't let me out.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man, let me try this again. How are you guys? Hey, you guys.
Doing well, man. Doing well. Clearly, we came off of a crazy weekend last weekend. But other than that, this week has been cool. Doing well. Can't complain.
See,
I'm
so what's
doing okay.
good?
I can complain, but I won't complain. So I know Cleveland like that title, so But
Oh yeah,
for those
I've
you
had some
heathens,
days.
the number one funeral song. But anyway,
It definitely is,
sheesh.
bro.
yeah, it was an interesting week, but you know what? People tried me, and I had to show how the pen is mightier than the sword. So
You know what
Hello.
we need? We need to try Jesus.
Yeah, don't
Don't
try
try
me.
me.
I had to tell a Caucasian lady that I'm not one of her little friends.
Okay. Did you direct her the episode, whatever it was, to let her know exactly what that means?
Yeah.
I ain't one of your little friends. Because, some of the black isms, isms, they
They
don't
apply,
understand
bro.
outside. They don't understand outside the community. Like when you say,
That's true.
oh, all right, that's different than, oh, all right. Like
All
it's,
right.
Completely different, bro.
yeah, it's like, it's a whole different ball game. Like it's a lot of different things where you're like, word or
Depending on how you put it.
word.
Yeah. Well, I did
Because
use
there's a
her
million
against-
OIs.
Yeah, I did do a Karen against the Karen though, because I damn sure contacted that HR buddy.
As you should
Oh, you
have.
went to
That's
the
what they're
manager.
there
Good,
for.
like yes, when you hit them with a them, oh, it felt so good.
When you call the manager,
Yo, I felt so good. Now I understand what that little entitlement feel like for a half a second.
For sure.
where's your manager? Excuse me. I am
Bro,
the
how
manager.
did you?
No, you're not.
Zoe, how did you feel the first time you said I'm not one of your little friends to your kids?
I felt old because I was like, damn. Like,
Did it come
I-
natural? It just came out, right?
I didn't plan
Just
it, but then I was
flow,
like,
bro.
damn.
Wait till they become teenagers. I feel like I say that to my aunt. I'm not one of your little friends. Don't talk to me like I'm one of your little friends.
Who you think you
Like, why my
talking
friends
to?
got to be little? First of all, these kids mad tall nowadays. My daughter almost 6 foot. She like 5'8". I'm like, sheesh.
Word up.
Yeah, that's ill. But yeah, I imagine I'm gonna be one of those parents. 'Cause by the time my kid 18, I'm gonna be 90. So that's kind of is what it is. But yeah, indeed, a wild week.
For
My
sure.
weekend was filled with. I was outside. This is how I know I'm not built for outside again. I went to a baby shower at like 1:30. Went to go celebrate Tiff's dad's birthday, probably like 5. Got
Happy
home
birthday,
like
Pop Tiff.
8. Definitely happy birthday to him. Got him a cupcake and everything. Um, got home like 8. Whooped.
Feel you.
Ass whooped. 2 events, 1 day. My ass was kicked.
Um,
I was like, I'm not ready for this,
yeah.
bro.
Was it one of
Yeah.
those where you look at the clock like, damn, it's only 8? It feel like it's 1, like 1 in the morning.
Because not that crazy. But it's lighter longer. So 7 o'clock it's still light outside. So
Yeah.
I'm getting 5:30 vibes when it's 7 o'clock. And I'm like, did I eat first of all? And like, why am I tired?
I feel
Yeah.
that though, bro. Like I feel like on my weekend runs, bro, like 3 o'clock in the afternoon to me feels late. Like, cause I've been up and out because I try to beat the crowds. Cause that's one thing I learned about Austin is it's crowded everywhere. Period. It's just always crowded. So if I want to go to IKEA or go to At Home or go to Target, like you go to 3
You
stores.
spitting
Like,
now. You spitting. That's some adult
listen, man,
stories.
that's some adult stores, bro. Get excited to find a new end table or ottoman. Like, yeah, this joint gonna go nice in the
Do
living
you
room.
remember what movie was it? What movie did Will Ferrell and them go to college again? Old School?
Old
Yeah.
school,
Oh,
yeah.
And I remember, I think Old School came out in like '03, but I distinctly remember him being excited to go to Bath and Body Works or Bed Bath and Beyond, right?
Bed Bath
And
and
his
Beyond.
friends was clowning him like what you doing this weekend? So I can't wait to go to Bed Bath and Beyond. And they were like, what? And I remember being a kid, like, who gets excited for that shit? Look at us. Look at
Bro,
us.
it's exciting when it comes together, bro. Because I've been trying to get the spot together. Man, we needed this, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I get mad excited when something comes in from Amazon or if we ordered it from Bed Bath and Beyond or Target or something. I get mad excited, bro. But
I'm still a kid. I just be buying sneakers. I got too many. Yo, I got so many pairs of sneakers, right? And then this weekend, I was like, I ain't got no sneakers to wear. I hate that. What is
I'm the
that?
same way. I got a lot that I've accumulated.
you sound like my wife. Y'all get sneakers every month, like just as like y'all pay for it like in like you,
Yeah.
but you have them just in case, like just in
And
case
I'm
you
about
need
to get a
them.
pair too. The same color as Cleveland's Jux hoodie. I'm about to get some retro ones that color. That maroon
Oh,
burgundy.
okay. Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah. I like those.
I already
yeah,
picked them out and
those are
everything.
nice. I like the leather on those for sure.
Yeah.
Cause the leather ain't the same on every joint. I like that like distressed leather look. Like that to me,
Yeah.
that's the one of the best looks.
I realized it's March, and I spent a lot of money on sneakers. But some shoes I have to get. Like I had to get the 12s, the playoff 12s that just came out. I needed them. I got them,
I didn't
and
get
it's a
those.
few.
I should have
It's a
got
few
them.
other shoes. But I got, we can have a whole episode on the sneakers app and the scan that Nike's running. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, but shout out to Tiff. You saw her on the sneakers app. She was doing the Jordan releases. I was like, oh shoot! I was just scrolling through. I'm like, yo, I know her. I got mad suits. But congrats, shout out to her.
for the
Irvin.
Jux people, not my Tiff, but one of our frat brothers, ladies, Tiffany Irvin, doing great things in the sneaker space. I mean, if the plug was strong, we would probably be, decked out right now.
Let her get her feet wet. Let her get her feet. Let her get acclimated first.
Exactly.
Acclimated
I
Let you
mean,
get settled in a little
you
bit.
can't give niggas nothing. Like, oh, you working Foot Locker now? Where can I get my pair? It's like, yo, I ain't even go through
Some that
orientation yet.
discount.
Yo, we experienced that. Me and Cleveland, when me, him, and Chris worked that foot action, it was really like that.
Bro, one of our line brothers, like literally, he saw me in the mall before he was our line brother, and he was like, "Yo, what's up? You go to Ryder, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yo, so what's up? That discount?" Like that's it, bro. You didn't even ask my name, nothing. You just asked, confirm that I went to the same school and asked for my discount, bro.
He
Black people
probably didn't
have
even
no
do that.
shame in their
He
game.
probably hit you with the like, are you? I see you in Dailies. Dailies being the Ryder cafeteria, which gives you the clue, like, oh yeah, I see you in Dailies. Yeah, I did see you. What's good with that discount? It's like, bro,
Exactly. You know what I'm
hello,
saying?
how are
Give me a
you?
little sunning. Give me a little sunning. You know what I mean?
Sonny.
Like,
You know what else was rude? Shifting gears, making a hard left. My orthodontist was fixing my braces maybe like 2 weeks ago, and then he stepped away, and then this other woman stepped in, right, to like to do a piece. I think she might have been learning, or she might have been in ortho school, whatever. She was about to put them materials in my mouth, but ain't say hi. I'm like, hello.
Oh,
yeah, no, that's a very vulnerable
that's
position. You gotta at least
violation.
introduce yourself. You about to put your hands in my mouth. Like, say
Right,
hi.
like
Say hi first.
I'm not asking for dinner. I'm
I
just
know a
asking for
drink,
you
a
to
drink,
just
something.
hello. My name is
Such a
Travaris.
violation.
How are you? What?
Nigga,
So
my
you just
name's
gonna go right
Tavares,
in?
a
You're gonna
down
speak?
Fauntleroy.
Like what are
Hello.
you? Like what are you doing? Like how dare you like just
How
violate me
dare
like that? It's my mouth. This is my
you?
mouth. It's
You
not
know
your
you
mouth.
you know you offended when you say how dare you though. Like
I know.
how
But
dare
did
you?
you say? Did you like rude? Like rude?
Nah, because she had them sharp metal objects. Had to
Yeah, you
be
don't
had to
want
be
to piss her
easy.
off.
But I
Yeah.
looked at her direction before she put the materials in my mouth. I let
Hi.
that breathe for a second, and then I was like, "Hello, You're, I'm Travaris," and she's like,
Word.
"Oh, no, I don't even know what she said. But I just wanted her to acknowledge that you about to
Right.
violate me.
You about to work on an actual person. Like this ain't
Yeah, like
you
I'm
need
a
to get some
MacGyver.
human.
bedside
Yeah.
manner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I had to learn her. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, you had to learn or something. I'm with it.
I don't know. And just so y'all know, I'm sure that y'all been waiting patiently. We will have a motivational moment for you at the end of this episode. So stay tuned to for
Ooh.
that. But let's
Hallelujah.
dive let's dive deep into our main topic today. And we're talking about trauma. Everybody's favorite boogeyman. Everybody loves to run away from. But that motherfucker be coming out of your bed. He come out of the bathroom. He gonna find you. Trauma, he or she, trauma gonna find you. But
True.
specifically trauma within before you embark on a long-term relationship. Before I ask any question, I kind of like share a moment, right, where when I knew that I was getting serious with Tiff, I had to kind of like take inventory, right? And I look at trauma or bullshit that you're dealing with, like your home, right? Before you invite somebody into your home, you got to make sure your shit is clean. You can't invite somebody over where your shit's dirty. You got clothes over here. You got this over there. Same like with your life. You can't have issues here, unresolved problems there, ongoing trouble in this regard. You're not solid. So I made sure, but for the first time in my life, I made sure to take inventory before a relationship. Talk to me about if you have ever had to take inventory before you embarked in a relationship, and how did that work?
Yeah. Absolutely. I think for me coming out, I wasn't dating for. I was no, that's a lie.
Look,
I
that's
was
that's a lie, people. That
I
when you
was
recollect
dating.
like that,
I was dating, but then I stopped after a while because I was running into like very similar issues. I felt like it was just like somebody just kept replaying the same part of the same song, and that was like
welcome back, Oshara.
I was about to say, what
that
was
was
her
like a funk
word? What was
flex.
her word she kept saying? She kept saying a word like that had like coming with baggage, but she said it's something else. Damn, I
Oh
can't
yeah,
remember.
I remember what you was talking about, but
It was
yeah,
like her
it was
nuclear
a.
word, but go ahead. Shout out to her shout for her one word.
But nah, man, like I had to address some things. Like I had to address not even just like so when you talk about cleaning up, bro, like it's really like cleaning out too. Because sometimes you know how people got different versions of cleaning up. Like you go
Right?
into your daughter's room, they'd be like, "It's clean, everything under the bed, right? It's just
Yeah, that ain't
hidden."
clean.
You know
That
what I
ain't
mean?
Or
That
clean.
the
ain't
leftovers.
clean.
Yeah.
Exactly. But like I literally had to like renovate, like get some stuff out and figure out why it got there in the first place and why I believed it. You know what I mean? So like I'll be straightforward. Like for me, I always had issues like understanding my own value. So that caused me to like accept dumb stuff, bro. Like I used to accept some of the silliest stuff, and I would talk to y'all, and I would talk to some of my other friends, and they'd be like, "Yo, why are you still even talking to this person. And it's
Right.
because the way I looked at myself was a little low. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not even just esteem in terms of physical things, but like, I could be doing better in my career. Like, I'm somewhat of a catch, but not really. Like that kind of stuff. I had to get that out of there
I'm so
because,
glad. I'm so glad James not here. He would have looked at you so
James
crazy.
would be like, Cleveland, I never knew you were going through these things, man. Like, you don't gotta say it on the air, Cleveland. Like, we can talk about it later.
That's hilarious.
Man, we need
Once he,
James on, man.
once he said not esteem first physically, he would be like,
I had to
all right.
clarify because James would listen to the episode and be like, again, he brought it up. But yeah, man, I had to clear some stuff out, man, so I could be ready. You know what I mean, or be better prepared, I should say.
Well,
once
sticking
I
on
found-
that Cleveland, did you clean house? Did you renovate for people who you shouldn't have renovated for, or did you really, renovate for your now wife? Was that the first time you did it, or did you do it previous?
I had never done it previously. Like, I think I thought I had gotten better in certain areas, and then I would start, like, when I felt like I got better, I would start talking to people again. But then I would run into the same issue and realize, nah, it's not quite worked out. But the full renovation and full kind of like staying to myself and not even entertaining things, that didn't happen. Like, the person I met next that I got serious with was my wife.
And so I want to ask you the same question, but I want to make sure I clarify for you. When I say cleaning house, I don't mean texting all the girls before your wife's saying like, "Hey, I met somebody,"
You know that's where he was
and
going.
it's over. Did
I
you
wasn't
have
even gonna
to?
say that, man.
But did you have to like do a mental inventory around what you might have been dealing with before her that you had to like make sure you got in order?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have too many mental things that I was dealing with. I guess certain things that I would say, we look at them as red flags, and I was like, my experience told me what I don't want. You know what I'm saying? So I was still learning, and we're still learning what we do want, but my previous experience told me like, listen, and these things that I had to clear out, I actually expressed to her. So it was one of those like, look, I'm laying the cards on the table. If you do any of these things, understand that it's over. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but I didn't have to, but I had to because these things bothered me so much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
I get it.
one of them is more of a, is it
You don't gotta say it. I'll say it for you.
being that I committed for the rest of my life. One of them I just gotta
Here
kind
we
of
go.
I gotta accept, sort of. But the other ones, I would say my only major issue was the fact of if she was coming to me in like harboring stuff from somebody else. That's a red flag that I had that it bothered me. I dealt with an individual who like kept mentioning this person's name, and I'm like, yo, is he in the room? Like, is this dude here? Like, you, and I had to be like my man from next Friday, like, say another mother. Like, I had to say like, yo, say the name again, please. Like, you know.
You know what's funny? I had a silly deal breaker when me and Tiff got together. I told her if I call her in the shade room comments, it's over. Don't ever let me see
What?
you in the shade room comments ever.
You was one of those. You was like, don't ever paint your nails blue. It's over if your nails are ever blue.
Nah, you can have blue nails, but don't let me catch you in the shade room comments. Don't ever let me catch you in the motherfucking comments. It's a wrap.
I don't
It's
even look.
chewing loud, and being in the shade room comments is deal breakers for me. Nah,
You
no,
gotta
no,
clean that
no.
out, ladies. You gotta clean that out. If you want to commit a relationship,
Chewing
control
loud,
your
don't chew
smacking.
loud.
Yeah, don't chew loud. Like, nah, get that shit under control, and don't fart around me. Bonus points.
Don't pass
When you get married,
gas.
that's like inevitable, but okay.
I mean, Tiff still holding it down.
It's because y'all still dating. The minute she say I do, it's gonna come out.
Trumpets.
The trumpets will sound.
It might be simultaneous. Like, I do, like, meow. It's just gonna happen. So just expect it, bro. They're human.
The
Women are human.
Vapors.
Yeah.
Going back to the topic though, the trauma may be a little strong, but do you think that there were bad habits you had to unlearn in order to progress to be more available? Cleveland.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was your bad habits?
Yo, I think. Well, I'm going to speak on behalf of my wife. We both had bad habits we had to get rid of because you gotta think,
You hear
like
that? It wasn't
when
just
you're in a
me. It wasn't just me.
when you
It
get
was
in a
us.
committed
Yeah, go
relationship,
there.
when you get in a committed relationship, yo, it's like there's things that you may not bother you, but will bother
Mm,
someone else. Like, and I think it's hard to
yeah.
take inventory of those things. So, like, this is something I didn't even learn about myself until I gotten, and it was like little things, like I don't know, like leaving my clothes in the bathroom when I took a shower,
Mm.
or little things like that, or or what my wife does, she don't like to use the last of the toilet tissue. She got this thing, like she don't like to pull out the
She want
last
to see the
piece.
brown.
You shouldn't like to see the brown. So she takes out a new one, right? She takes out a new one. This is the old one and
Hmm.
sits it right here on top
Oh,
of the new one.
but not like take the roll
But don't
off.
replace it. You know what I mean? Like, nah, the bad boy just sitting on top. So
And
I'm
now,
like,
baby,
That's
it's
yo,
right. Yo,
roll
you
on.
can knock that
Big
shit over
timers.
in the toilet.
And the toilet.
thank you.
That's dangerous.
See what I'm saying? That stuff that got to change.
Hold
You
on,
know what I'm
so
saying?
that was about minute 21, 21 minutes and like 0 seconds. Cleveland going. Like, look, I'm not the only one. Everybody thinks so. They're all doing it. They're all
I'm telling you.
So
But nah, man,
Cleveland
like,
clothes lever, that bothers me. But go ahead.
clothes lever.
yo, I do. And sometimes I don't even do it on purpose. Like, I'll get in the shower
Of course
and
you
then
don't. It's just
Step
like
out and walk
Alicia.
off.
change my clothes and I'm like, oh, what you mad for? Like, you had to leave her in the sink. I'm like, oh, my fault. Like, my bad. I didn't even notice I did that.
He said my bad with a smile. Like that's gonna make a difference. She pissed.
It does make a difference.
Yo, Cleveland walk around the house like, bro, man, that first episode where he met Martin, he like, I guess I shouldn't have done that, huh?
Yo, you gotta say my bad with a smile. Like, you know, I just did that to make you mad. Like, I
Oh,
ain't doing it on
okay,
purpose.
Mace. Do you do the game point? Like, yo,
Oh,
my
just
bad. You talking about these clothes right here?
Yeah. You gotta have the gun fingers, the thumb. You gotta have the thumb too. Like you gotta just in case.
Terrible.
I mean, but I think relatively speaking, that's like light. That's not like a bad habit of leaving clothes around every now and then.
Yeah,
They're pet peeves. Those are
they're pet peeves.
More pet peeves, right?
Yeah,
Look,
yeah.
I'm doing the game now.
Yeah, I don't know bad habits. See, I don't know. I think by the time you decide that you're gonna get married, hope, even though you're constantly a work in progress, I think by then you know who you are, and you know, like if you're gonna ask somebody to marry you, you should know who you are and what your faults are, and you should
You
be willing to
should.
put them on
You
the
should,
table
yeah.
or suppress them and just never. I mean,
All right. Well, how about this though? To Cleveland's point, were there things that were highlighted in your journey to getting married that you didn't know about yourself? That the embarking, well, you decided to embark on marriage or engagement that you were like, oh shit, I didn't even know this about me.
I don't know because, like I said, I'm an open book. So I just throw everything on it. Like, yo, I got a problem. I got OCD. Don't leave your drawers on the floor.
Right.
Uh,
But even
um,
emotionally, not even physically, like even emotionally, were there some things that you didn't know about you? Like I can say for me, maybe I'll give you an alley oop. I am really bossy in a relationship. Like I didn't know how bossy I was until I had looked in myself in the mirror being with Tiff, and I'm like, damn, like why is this the way that it is? And then talking to my dad highlighted the things that I do. I was like, I'll be damned. The same thing that my dad does that pisses me off, I do that pisses Tiff off. But she's not as vocal as I am about it, but she don't enjoy it. But I hate when my dad gets into these moods, and I do the same thing. And I was like, that's
oh,
crazy.
yeah. If you saying that, I
Yeah.
think in the beginning for me was more like what you guys knew this from knowing me for so long is in the beginning of our relationships, I've always like, even though I put stuff on the table, I try not to say much because I don't want to be a complainer. I don't want to be
Hmm.
like, yo, why this dude always bitching? Like, you know what I'm saying? But a
Right.
lot of times I will suppress, and then I'll lose it. Like I'll blow a gasket.
Right.
And then I'm like, and then they be looking at me like, damn, all that you felt all like it's like five things I done lined up. Like, and that ain't right. That ain't fair to the person either. So I've been more conscious of like pick your battles and then
Yeah.
the problem I have is like making light of a situation because you try not to be mean or hurt the feeling or complain, but then I feel like when I'm making light of it, like you're not taking me serious. Like, no,
Let's
I'm
stay
dead serious.
here.
Don't leave your drawers on the floor.
Let's stay here. I think you're making a fucking fire point because this is something I had to unlearn early on. Like trying to keep it cool, and then when the argument comes, my clip is loaded with, and on March 6th, 1987, you did this. It's like, yo, why didn't you tell me on March 7th that I did that? But now I'm in the perspective, my relationship now, where I'm bringing up things more incrementally versus the big blow ups. And we haven't had a blow up at all because I kind of, which is also annoying. I kind of like whenever there's something going on, I address it. Did y'all have to unlearn that too or figure that out along the way?
Yeah, so me, I already told y'all I'm not good. I'm not a good arguer. I don't know how to load the clip up. I done lost the bullets. I forgot where they are. Like it's just over for me. But like for me, it was unlearning
Bluff
like
Man.
for me, it was unlearning like what I had experienced in my past relationship. You have a bad relationship and it taught you that 2 + 2 must equal 6. Right. So then you get into the real relationship and it's like, nah, it just equals 4. It doesn't equal 6. So when I
No,
do
it
this,
don't. No, it
it
don't.
doesn't. Yo, that's how you be. Like, so you figure like because you said this and because you did this, it has to mean that because that's what
Yep.
I've been taught from my past relationships. And like that was the biggest thing for me is having to like take more things at face value and know that I like can communicate in a way if I don't like something. And just because they're doing something that may seemingly be similar to what I experienced in the past, it doesn't mean the same thing. It could be completely different, bro. Like, no, like I close my phone when you come into the room because I want to pay attention to you, not because I'm texting somebody else, right? Like things of that nature. Like you gotta be like, you know what I mean? You gotta unlearn that. Like 2 + 2 = 4. It doesn't always equal 7, you know.
It's for you.
Seeing you reminds me No, that wasn't me.
Oh yeah, because he was out here wilding. But
He was
that's
wild
a
with this though.
he was how you say CMB reminds you of the days I used to beat it up. But
That's wild.
I'm a one woman man, just so you know. But anyway, you make a great point because having to unlearn other traumatic experiences through your own dating history is tough. Just like somebody giving you the Cleveland, we got to talk when you get home. Nah, let's talk now. Let's just get it over with. I'm on the train and shit, but cool. Let's talk now.
I
I
can
don't
turn
want to
around.
wait.
I can get off at the
I
next
don't,
stop.
I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait till I get home. Like those let's talk texts is like, what happened? Who died? What's going on? But that's having to unlearn too. Maybe she just want to know what you want to eat for dinner, and you over here stressing and
But
sweating.
but bro, let's
You
talk
get
is
to the
different
point.
from we need to talk.
Yeah,
We
that
need
means
to
she got
talk
some
means we need to
information.
talk. Let's talk is like, oh, I'm bored. I wanna talk to you in your commute home from work. We
If I
need to
see the
talk is
word,
like we need
if
to
I see
talk
the
about
word,
something.
if I see the word talk and it's a text with like 4 words, I'm nervous. A B C D talk. I'm nervous. I'm like I don't know what's going on. I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
Nah, let's talk ain't that bad. We need to talk is horrible. That's like when you
Yeah,
like, oh, what did I do?
I don't see a difference. Anxiety,
Nah,
anxiety,
it's a definite.
Anxiety
spiking.
sets in right away.
Yeah, spiking. My anxiety senses are tingling. I don't like it. I don't want to talk about this. No, I don't want to talk.
You crazy. I've been thinking while we sitting here. I think more of the trauma that people bring is more from upbringing than relationship. I mean, I'm not saying it could be more relationship, but I think 90% of it is upbringing versus relationship because that's the relationship is an experience. The upbringing is who you are. Like that formed you. Like
Now I have a new question. So I know you are. You're gonna rebel against it. But Cleveland, would you consider yourself a mama's boy?
I'm a parent's boy. I don't
I
honestly
know how you and
not
your dad get
that's
down.
what
I
I'm
know how you and
no,
your dad
not
get
one is
down.
above the other though. Like that's the thing. Like I'm a parent's boy. Like I like being up under my parents. I like when I go to my parents' house, I go and sit and chill on the couch they have in their bedroom and we talk. We talk in the kitchen. Like I honestly I can't position one over the other. I'm both.
That's why I knew it was tricky. So I don't care what you say. You are. and I just don't rebel against it. Don't try to shake it.
Yeah, my according to my wife, I am, but I would say I'm like Cleveland parents because me and my dad have a, you know what I mean? We talk, we play ball, we whatever.
You and your dad are A1, but
For sure.
the way that you respond to your mom and defer to your mom, like, and this is not taking it from Mr. Mitch at all, because that's your guy. I know that 100%. But you're a mama's boy. I know you are. Now, with that said, for you, Cleveland, as a parent's kid, right?
Mhm.
Has that manifested its way into your relationship by the way that you want your wife to treat you? Like, I'm a mama's
Uh,
boy, and I know that there are some things that I
mhm,
just support that's needed that was there. My mom also is not here anymore, so that's even more of a
mhm,
burden on my future wife. So,
mhm.
how has that manifested itself to your relationship in the way that you need support?
Man, in the way that I need support. Oh, that's it. I like the way you frame that because my first thought was to go to like my pop being like an example, but like my mom was the example of how a man should be treated. In my opinion, the way she treated my father, like it's hard to explain. She was just always very supportive. Like, you know what I mean? My father had a full-time job and he also was a musician, an actively gigging musician. And when my dad wanted to play, I never heard them fussing, arguing. She goes to his gigs, you know what I mean? For some of the events that they have, she caters them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, always
Right.
have been super supportive. Like, if things
Yeah,
got
that's
tight,
active support. You're right. That's active
active
support.
support,
Yeah.
bro. Like, and you know, if my parents were saving for something, and my mom had a full time job when I was growing up as well. They both did, but they were both like hustle together. Like I saw, like Zoe knows this. I don't know if the store was open, Var, when you Oh no, it was. It was because it was after college.
Yeah,
Like my
I know.
parents opened up a business together,
Hmm.
in their 40s, in their late 40s. Like you know what I'm saying, and like that stemmed from how they function with each other all their life. Like they would sell dinners, like you know what I mean, out the crib. My dad would deliver them and put them together. My mom would make them. So like I always saw that partnership, bro. Like you know how some people have stories about their parents waking them up in the middle of the night because they arguing or fussing
Yeah.
or fighting. It was the opposite with us. We used to get so mad because our parents
Was
would
up
be
laughing.
laughing
That's so
hard,
dope.
bro. Disrespectful. I'm like, yo, I'm tired. Like, I'm trying to sleep. And like, my parents both have aggressive laughs, bro. Like, when my dad laughs, like, he sits up straight in his chair and like, his eyes get wide and he laughs hard. My mom does the same thing. But, bro, so to me, that was the model. Like, and that impacts like what I expect from my wife. You know what I mean?
So your level of support is more molded by expectation, in quotes, not hard expectation, but like here's the example that I saw from my parents. So like this is what I know. This is what I come to think of as love and support.
Oh yeah, expectation was the perfect word. Like really, because like whether you know it or not, that's what you. Even before you can communicate the expectation, it's the expectation. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, that builds your expectation. This is what love looks like.
And was there ever an issue about that level of specificity and it's like a hard bar to live up to? Like did you run into any issues with that in terms of your relationship?
Kind of, but not in like any kind of crazy negative way. Just in like little things. Like I'm like my mom used to cook every day, bro. I used to come home from school looking forward to dinner. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I used to look forward, like, what is my mom gonna cook tonight? Like
James, we
that
have a
was like
joke right here. James, we have a joke right here.
I'm sure he would. And I was a little, you know what I mean? I was a little husky when I was in middle school. So
Husky,
James
you are
could keep
forever
going
be
with the
funny.
middle school. I was I was husky. That's the nice way of calling somebody fat. You know what I mean? When they're young. When they're young and you don't want to hurt their feelings, you call them husky. You know what I'm saying? Or healthy. Oh, you healthy. You
Unhealthy,
eat
which is
good.
really unhealthy, nigga. That's what
Right. You
it's really
eat good,
unhealthy.
don't you? Oh,
Okay.
you eat good. No, like but I don't even remember where I was going with it. Oh yeah, so like so like but and so my mom did most of the cooking growing up, and she enjoyed doing it. It was like something she liked to do, and my dad would cook every now and then, and like now it's like I do most of the cooking. You know what I'm saying? Like in my household, and I had to accept that to be cool. Like you know what I mean? That's what our marriage looks like. Like you know what I
Right.
mean? I'm more likely to cook a meal then my wife can cook, but I enjoy it. It's like it's you know what I mean. Like your stress kind of leaves. You got your space in the kitchen. Most times people are leaving you alone. It's just like a nice little vibe when you can. Nah, you
Because you
agree,
don't got
so
no little kids. My little kids do not leave me alone.
yeah. Well, Maya just want she don't
You
even want to eat
open
with
the
us.
stove? Oh yeah. Nah, like I be about to open the stove. Here come Ava run. I'm like, you about to jump and burn yourself? Like you know how that go. Like open the oven. I'm
Yeah,
like, back up. Like
yeah.
Nah,
what do you want?
Past
I
that
don't cook
stage.
or I don't got kids.
I cook majority of the time, even though I grew up with my mom cooking. Only time my dad really cooked was when my mom went on like she used to go on business trips back when she was working like in advertising, and they would have her all over the you know all over the daggone United States and the Virgin Islands, and she most of the time my mom would even cook on her way out. Like she's like, I'm gonna be gone for 4 days, so I'm gonna make enough for like
Oh, she prepared.
two or three,
Yeah,
yeah, and then all you gotta do is heat it up. And then my dad, it was a couple times until he made some chicken, some rice, and I was like, "Oh, Dad, I never knew he could cook like at all." I'm like, "Oh, you can cook?" He's like, how you think I lived before your mother? Like, I had my own plate. I'm like, I ain't know. Like,
that's
I
not a
never seen you
concept
do
that
that.
the kids even. Yeah,
Yeah, I never even thought about that. I'm like, Dad, I'm like 9. Like, I don't know. I just always see the same person cooking the food, and we wash and clean up.
but Zoe, the same for you in terms of because of the support. See, your life was a little different because your mom is supportive, but she give you the stern talking to before her support comes. How did that
Oh
inform
yeah.
you building a relationship with your wife, based on the expectations you had of what support and love look like?
Well, she's been around long enough. She sees and she knows. She's heard the stories, obviously, with hanging with all of
But
us.
beforehand, early on.
Early on, well, with the support thing, I mean, shit, she seen a lot early too. We were like dating, and she seen like, you know what I mean, the aggressive when I'm asking for something or whatever. But I think her temperament is more my dad's speed. Like they're like the same person. So she knows how my relationship is with my dad. So when she support me, she comes with me in that arena. Like I ain't gonna be your mom, I'm not her. Our personalities are not the same. I'm not, but I will support you in the same way that your dad does because that's my I can relate to that and I understand that you also need that.
Okay, that makes sense. That's actually dope. So your wife had an example of how to operate, had more of like an in, right? Whereas Cleveland's wife kind of had to like trial by fire based on however much finding their footing. That's interesting because I'm more of the same like Cleveland. I was figuring it out when we got together, like because I'm different. When I met her at we got together when I was 32, 31. I'm different then than I am now, right? So I have different needs then than I do now. So there's been an evolution. We also became cool in COVID, which kind of fucked everything up, right? So my
Oh yeah.
expectations of support, love, I probably need more of it now than I did before, unknowingly, right? So communicating those things to her. But another question I wanted to talk to y'all about is we talked about, knowing those quote unquote red flags based on trauma. How do you recognize them in yourself? How do you know when it's
Mm,
something that you are operating in that you are like, this is not good. This is not good. I
mm,
have to begin to unlearn that. How does that process start and how do you articulate it?
I'll say this. Well, and I'm gonna continue into the support thing that you in Cleveland were talking about. My wife had a cheat code because of proximity. Like your mom, even when your mom was alive, you were across the country, and then Cleveland was 5 hours away in another state. Like we was just going every Sunday to dinner. So she had a cheat code, and then her and my dad, because of the click and the personalities, like they have their own jokes about me. They talk about me in my face, like oh, when he has an attitude, does he do? I'm like, yo, no, whose side are you on here? Like, you do got to come home with me. You know what I'm saying? But so that helps, and that probably is why both of y'all significant others had to do a trial by error,
Right.
mm,
so to speak, because there was no cheat code, there was no study guide right there to tell them.
Right.
But with that red flags and how do we know and with the trauma, I think for me personally, and I think most of us here, one thing that we continuously say, we check in with each other. Like we have
Right.
self-reflection. So because we
Mhm.
have self-reflection, we already aware before no matter who it is that we're dealing with, whether it's work,
Hmm.
whether it's a significant other, whether it's, I'm in the gym playing ball, even strange random interactions. I tell y'all, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So we have a lot of self-reflection. So I think we are an anomaly in the sense that we're conscious of it while we're going into these things. Like, I do have a tendency. Var, we did just talk about this. Like when it comes up, we think quickly, and I'm like, let me not say that because Var definitely, or Cleveland definitely just told me I'll be wilding when this happened. But
And it's so
Yeah.
funny that you bring that up because I wasn't even going in this direction, but I had that exact interaction with Cleveland when me and Tiff were getting to know each other. Where two things, I already knew that Cleveland and Tiff were going to hit it off because they're very similar. But second of all, when began to date Tiff, she had observed the way that I move. I'm not one to keep things. I'm the one to keep it moving, right? With all things, if they don't serve me, then I'm out. So she asked, "How does she know that she's not going to become one of those things that I just decide to just be done with?" And I was like, "Fuck." I know the answer, but how do I communicate this? So the first person I called was Cleveland. The reason I called Cleveland is because I told Cleveland about my ex-girlfriend before Tiffany. And I had to ask Cleveland two questions. Was I as excited about my ex as I am about my girlfriend now? Because I didn't want to be fake. And sometimes you can be in a situation where you're like, you don't know you're doing the same thing, but you're doing the same thing. The second question, which is the most important question, was do I get rid of people easy? Because I had to ask myself, like, damn, do I? I don't think I do, but I had to ask. And Cleveland gave me a real answer. He's like, you don't stick in situations that don't serve you, but you don't give up on people. And it made me feel good, even though I'm self-aware. I needed to hear that, like okay, all right. That
Yeah.
made me feel great.
that bad.
I remember that. I remember that moment. I remember that moment because it was a good conversation. I also remember that moment because I was on the dumbest layover of my life. I had to go to Roanoke, bro. I had to go to Roanoke, Virginia, bro. I had to catch a
Bro,
flight
that is
from
sounds
Providence,
slavery-ish.
Rhode Island. I caught a flight from Providence, Rhode Island to Charlotte, which is in North Carolina, which is below Roanoke,
Virginia.
Virginia, to fly back up to Roanoke, Virginia. And I was in the Charlotte airport for like 2 hours. I was so hot. Like they could have like just dropped me off or something. It was wild.
Drop
But
me
like
off.
but the thing is like, yeah, man, I think it's good to have people all throughout when I was dating. I was hitting y'all up frequently, bro. Like honestly, it was y'all two, and it was my cousin Craig. Like y'all were my go-tos to see, like, yo, what am I doing wrong? Like apparently
Yeah.
something's not working because I keep running back into the same situation, and what am I doing? And y'all would all keep it very real with me. If I wasn't doing anything wrong and it was somebody else, y'all would let me know. If it was like, well, you kind of said that last time and then you did X, Y, and Z.
Yo, that's it right there. When your
Yeah,
boys hit you with the nigga, this your third time doing this.
exactly.
Like, how
And you're
many
like,
times we gonna
what?
revisit this?
Yo, everybody says it. Everybody says it differently though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like VAR would be more like, yeah, but we did kind of have this similar conversation before. Zoe was like, nigga, you just did this last week. You said that you gonna be right back doing. And yo, oddly enough, my cousin Craig and Zoe like are the most aligned in the approach. Very direct, very much like,
Right.
you lying. You're just gonna go right back and do X, Y, and Z. Like, so you gotta have that though, because like sometimes it's hard to like look at yourself in the mirror and pinpoint the where there's holes in the armor, so to speak. You know what
You
I
got
mean?
blind spots. You got
Got
blind
blind
spots.
spots.
Plus,
Just
we don't like being
you.
at fault. The pride
True.
too. Pride takes over.
That's
Yeah.
part of it.
But
That's
you know
part
what's
of it.
interesting? I learned this about myself at work like last week. Before, because my manager asked me like for feedback, right? I've been here for 3 months, right? I can't think of something that she can help me do because there are things that I probably should do first. Like, let me exhaust what I'm supposed to do. Let me read
Mm.
everything to make sure that, because I can say, like, hey, I have some blind spots in my areas of this information, but I probably can find that information, exhaust that, and then I can say, oh, well, here's what's missing. But I realize that, like, I'm a person who in this season of my life, taking accountability first. What did I do? Right? Where is the areas where I could be better before I solicit help from anyone else. I take inventory, but I think it's directly tied to our conversation. Being blind to things, being, you know what I mean, not aware, and then you get humbled and you're like,
True.
damn, I didn't even see that. So this season of my life, accountability is major.
And what's tough though about that though is like sometimes you don't know what you don't know, bro.
You
Like
don't,
sometimes
right?
like you're in a position where it's like you don't know what questions to ask
Nope.
because you don't know what you don't know. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean? And like those are the toughest seasons, bro. When like you're trying to figure something out and you're getting hit like, you know what I mean, from all angles, and you're like, yo, what is going on? Like something's
Right.
not right, but like I don't even know what to ask or who to ask because it just seems like, you know, overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where it
Yeah.
gets rough for me. Like when things just get hectic and it's like I don't even know where to start with
Mm.
asking a question. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what it is. I guess the final question before we get to the, the much anticipated motivational moment is if you had to give advice to someone, a younger brother that's in a relationship about how to pinpoint areas of opportunity that he needs in order before he gets serious with somebody, trauma related, what would you tell him?
A younger me or just in general?
Just say it's a young man in 2022. I love
Um,
her. I love her. She's my baby. I love her.
I would say have a good foundation, like of your core friends that are going to be that are going to be brutally honest.
That's what I saw when you did that. I love
Yeah,
But
I
her.
I
love
love
her.
I love
her.
her. I just love her.
For
Like,
everybody
why
who
do people
can't
do that when they
see,
describe who they love?
for,
Like, I just love her.
see, this is pulpit poppy over here, fake holding. It looks like a
It's like a
baby, but maybe your
like a
baby's
baby.
head.
Yeah,
Like
like a little. Their head little. I don't know who it is, but their head man little.
I don't understand him. He's
I
crazy.
love
But
you
yeah,
though.
I love her. Use my cinnamon apple. Nah, I mean, I would say have a good core of friends like that's gonna keep it a buck. You don't need no yes man. Now, granted, you don't have to tell everything, right? Because house business, we had that conversation last episode. But there's certain things when it's you, if you have to question something, like yo, I always double take before I make an executive decision that could change or alter
That's
our
it, yo.
relationship.
That I think what you have said thus far, what you just said is, I always take a double take before I make an executive decision. That is so clutch. Not just relationships, but like what they say, measure twice, cut
Cut
once.
once, yep,
Mm-hmm.
yep.
That's a perfect way to sum it up because
Exactly.
you but that goes for before you cut somebody off, before you decide to embark on a long-term relationship with somebody, all those things, measure twice and cut once.
That's it, man. I got nothing to add. Zoe wrapped it up perfectly, in my opinion.
Well, in that case, passing the ball over to Cleveland. I know you're a little rusty. You did this thing in a minute. You know what I mean, get your
It's gonna be
shots
a
up. All right, bro, it's on you. Motivational moment.
All right. So I work in technology, but I know you work in technology as well. And one of the things that we know about technology is that software has to be maintained and is maintained through a series of feature enhancements and bug fixes. And you get those feature enhancements and bug fixes through something that everybody knows as an upgrade. Now, as a part of an upgrade, the feature enhancements tend to get the most attention. They're the shiny things. They're the things that show on the exterior. But the star of the show most times are the bug fixes because the bug fixes are the things that we can't see that when they are fixed, they make the product more efficient and more stable. And if you let bug fixes go for too long, it decreases the stability of the application. And eventually you're building new features on top of negative issues in the application, which can cause the issue to crash. So while the new features get the most visibility, bug fixes create the most stability. And our lives work in much the same way. A lot of times when we begin to be successful, we work on the things that are outside. We like to show the new features. We like to show the money that we're making, either maybe through our clothes or through a new car, or maybe by going on vacations. But the issue is a lot of times we're doing that at the expense of addressing the things we need to address internally that's going to help us sustain those things. And the Bible lets us know that things that are seen comes from things that are unseen. And we have to start putting more focus on the things that are unseen so that the things that are seen can last longer. For example, We've been talking about it this episode. Fixing your insecurities and brokenness, that's an unseen thing, but it allows you to be more prepared for when you find the right person. That's seen. Fixing your habits with money, that's an unseen thing, but it allows you to sustain the lifestyle that you want and buy the things that you want without being guilty or accumulating debt. That's a seen thing. Fixing your issue with discipline, that's unseen. It's a decision that you make, but it allows you to be a disciple and be used by God. That is a seen thing. So the motivational moment is we work and we progress by fixing the internal changes and building ourselves on a solid foundation. And by doing that, we create stability in our progress and it prevents us from crashing. And that's the motivational moment. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. You bodied that. You bodied that. That was dope. I really felt like I was inside my phone looking at like, damn, you do a lot of bug fixes. I just did one for you the other day. That's crazy.
Bug
You
fixes
out
get no
here,
credit, bro.
you out,
They get no shine. But that's the reason
you
why
out here
the
going
that's the
crazy.
reason why the operating system works. Because of the bug
It
fixes.
is.
You know what I'm saying?
It is. It's like a vaccine for real. It goes in there and
Sure.
patches things up.
Exactly.
All right. So with that said, I'm shifting over to your second favorite segment today because Cleveland just dropped gems.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
Hey yo, Zoe knows this, Zoe knows that. So light skin, Zoe stay black. Yes, y'all.
And you don't
So-
stop.
Yeah, take that. I just did everybody's ad libs. Another one. Anyway, anyway. Today on Zonos, we got some banking issues, so to speak. Wells to the Fargo, formerly known as Wachovia. If y'all
Or
remember
First
that.
Union. Or
First
First
Union.
Union.
Take it back.
Yeah.
Take it back. Yeah. Only reason why I've had to bring up Wachovia is because when I had my remember my Nissan Max, when I bought the car, it was Wachovia, and then towards the end of the term, it was Wells Fargo. So, I've had to pay both of them Negroes. But speaking of Negroes and Wells Fargo, there is a lawsuit that they're being hit with allegations of discrimination against black homeowners. See what I did there? See what I did there?
I saw what you did there.
Yeah. So there's allegations they've been discriminating against black homeowners. It says they rejected nearly half of their business owners' refinancing applications.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
And it says
Yes. Wow.
Wells Fargo more likely to approve applications from white applicants earning 0 to 63,000 annually than it was for black applicants earning 120 to 168 annually. So you can own $0 and they'll approve you, but we 120, which is double the white applicants. We still can't get it.
That's wild, man.
So
I need the Florida Evans. Damn.
Yeah. So this is what we try to explain to folks with the systemic racism, systematic, whichever word you choose to use wrong. At the end of the day, it's a whole program.
Whatever
It's a
word you choose to
program.
use wrong.
You know what I'm saying? It's a program that is literally set up and fixed. When we tell racism is over, it's like it's not though. You know what I'm saying? So like this is just to all our non-minority listeners to understand we need y'all help in this fight because it's not over. Next we had the end of the road is sad. St. Peter's took an L over the weekend, last weekend, and they were outmatched. Like UNC they really are a dominant, like huge school. And homeboy in the middle with the headband, I don't know him. He look a little off. He don't look
I'm
100%.
gonna tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you two things actually. First and foremost, now that I'm going through this orthodontic journey, that nigga has a skeletal deformity. I tell you that much.
Oh yeah. But he
Bottom half of his
plays.
face.
Yeah. He definitely.
Yeah.
He definitely.
And
got
second
the,
of all, I walked in. I was running around on Sunday, and I walked in, and it was like 21-7. I was like, "Oh, it was a nice run." It was a good
yo,
run.
and it was so crazy. It got worse after that. Like
I know.
I'm like, yo, you know how you keep telling yourself? I'm like, yo, it's 19 minutes left. Like, you know what I mean, it's 15 minutes
Man.
left. Yo, 10 minutes is a long time though. Like, I
It is,
can't.
though.
I was like, "Stay down, Rock." I was like, "What's his name? What's Rocky's trainer's name?"
Oh, stay down.
Yeah,
What's the
stay down,
old
Rock.
man?
Yeah, just about to throw the towel
Mick,
in. Like,
Mick,
yeah,
yeah.
Nick.
oh
That's foul.
man,
So, and then obviously speaking of Rock and Rocky, y'all know by the time y'all hear this, we had another episode, but that definitely was in the crazy original Zoe knows where we had to slap her around the world. We don't want to
Hmm.
get too into that. Y'all know what happened, but we definitely praying for these brothers and our black folks. We need to communicate better with each other and I let leave stuff. What happened is what we call, like my grandma and them used to say, we don't say like the N word in front of mixed company. Like y'all not supposed to be doing that in front of mixed company. Like go to the room,
I
green
don't
room.
know. I heard a perspective that actually agree with. Right now,
Okay.
Double
what they
consciousness perspective. Why do we
yes,
care?
100%, 100%.
Mhm.
So here's the deal: we really can't begin. We have been socialized in a way to not embarrass ourselves in front of white people, right? But it also means that everybody who is black represents the entire black race, which is not true. These two are two men that have an issue, right? When white people do this, they don't represent all whites. You know what I mean? So I am in firm belief that it don't matter where it had to happen. If it had to happen, if it's in front of white people, fuck it. It don't matter because I don't want us to begin to be embarrassed based on issues that happened in front of white people. But if that happened in the Source Awards, it would have been okay.
Well,
You know what I
I agree
mean?
with that. I don't think it's okay because are making it okay. Because all the jokes I saw in the memes, like, oh, y'all thought it was the BET Awards, y'all thought it was the Social Awards. That ain't right either. However, y'all was just fighting a few years ago to be in those spaces. So technically, they are holding you to that. As much as we don't like to be, that's
I,
that's the situation. You can't go with what potentially that is the current state of the Oscars, whatever it is, because that's just it's what it is. Like, look, Samuel L. Jackson, 70 something years old, finally got one. Like, we know what they're. If we're fighting to be in those spaces, then we know what the rules that how easily it is they'll cut us off.
but you know what? Like I understand it from both perspectives. To be honest, I think because we live in a racist society, any situation lends itself to like through the lens of black and white. Because that's the
Right.
society we live in. Like, I saw other memes as like, well, if it was a white comedian and if it was but it wasn't. Like,
It
so
wasn't.
the fact that Will Smith is not going to jail is simply because Chris Rock is choosing not to press charges. It's not because Chris Rock is a black man. However, that
Right.
might play a part into why he's not pressing charges. That's something different.
Because
Because
they
I
But
don't
know
really
what that
do the
means.
police. Yeah, that's a cultural
But
thing.
exactly.
but are you gonna? I mean, you want to explain what double consciousness or dual consciousness is? I can
Yeah,
explain it
yeah.
just to kind of make it make sense.
Essentially, it's the concept that black people live in a constant state of seeing ourselves for who we are as black people, but also seeing ourselves in the way that white people see us. So we
Right.
live this like dual consciousness of like, when I walk in the room, I'm not just Cleveland. When I walk in the room, I know I'm Cleveland the black man, but I'm wondering
Yep.
how Cleveland the black man is seen by Ashley the white woman. And you
Yep.
carry that and you wear that with you all day, every day.
Yep.
You know what it's similar to? You remember in X-Men, the blue girl, when it's that one
Mystique.
X-Men Mystique, when
Yeah.
Magneto, it was the one when they were young, and Magneto, young Magneto was like, you know how much power you're wasting trying to show somebody you're something that you're not? And like she was
Mm.
so conscious of how other people were seeing her that she was limiting her power. And I think that's what black people are doing. We're so conscious of how other people see us that we're limiting our true power and what we can bring to the table. So I'm kind of with the concept of like, it is what it is. It's two men with the problem, but I also do understand that we live in a racist society. So it's going to be a thing.
Yeah, I understand it. I understand it 100%, but I'm rejecting it. I'm
Yeah.
consciously rejecting the fact that we have to think about like, bro, I deal with dual consciousness every fucking day,
Trust me.
right? Like,
We all know.
right. So
Yeah.
that's how it gets down. But with that said, I there needs to be a normalizing us being ourselves in front of people, whoever they are.
And
Yeah,
making
yeah.
mistakes and not having to
Sometimes it be like
represent
that.
the whole
Right.
race.
Sometimes niggas gotta get smacked. Sometimes.
I
You know what I
agree.
mean?
I agree,
Yeah.
but I also think we should keep it unanimous. Like, I feel like as our people, we like you said, we're programmed to that it's more acceptable to
Right.
like you know what I'm saying, and that's why people have always said, would you have if it was a white comedian? Like because we always see differently. That's why we always see the
Right.
behavior. We always see that think twice. They measure twice then. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
and I've
Right.
seen it. So I agree with y'all. I think we should be who we are, regardless of what they say, unapologetically black. Yeah, I mean, whatever the case, or
Yeah,
unapologetic, whoever you are. But until
I'm
I
with it.
mean, that's why we have to have our own. Because I'm tired of like, you know,
That's a whole nother topic, man.
cater.
Like
Yeah.
why do we need the accolades of these established structures that have always fought to keep us out?
Money, the bag. Look, we got to wrap this up because I
Yeah.
don't know if y'all can hear the train, but the train is coming.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
hungry too. So
choo
Yeah.
choo on the way out. Anyway, that's the end of Zone News.
Not true, true. Not true, true. Um,
appreciate it, bro.
thank y'all for tuning in to episode 69. Next week is episode 70, bro. This is wild.
7-0, bro.
7-0.
We've done it that
Um,
many times.
it's crazy. I don't know if you can say done it that many times after I say 69 in close proximity, but I'm gonna let you slide. So bring us home with the serenity prayer. Go ahead.
God, we want to grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, like our behaviors, and the wisdom to know the difference between the two.
Hallelujah.
And that is it for this episode. Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all next week.
Yes, sir.